I'm making a deck list, and I'm checking it twice. Fresh and buds now.
Fresh and
All right, folks, welcome back to yet another episode of Fresh and Buds. I'm your host, Tommy Fresh, and you are all my buds. It is episode 228. It is the holiday week, and we are joined by Brian Hoffman of Smashing Good Team. How's it going, my friend? Welcome to the show.
It's going great. I'm honored to be among the buds. Glad to be here for what is a freezing Sunday morning over here in Chicago, but always happy to chop it up about FAB.
Oh yeah. It's probably a good day in Chicago, I'm assuming, because of the results of the football game last night. Now, we're recording on Sunday. I'm a Packers fan, so that was a brutal. I was hoping, I could time this up, kind of gloat a little bit, but that's all right.
Unfortunately, it went the other way.
Yeah,
I was shocked. I worked at the bar last night, and it was a lot of people in their gear, and to their credit, Bears and Packers fans get along very well. They can cohabitate.
Yes, which is it's a far cry from. I live in Jersey, so I'm near a lot of Philly fans.
I was just gonna say, when we were out for Worlds, there was an Eagles game, and those fans seemed much less approachable.
Yes, it's a different vibe. That's a town that gets very passionate in a lot of different ways. If things go well or bad, things will happen. So
yeah, you'll know one way or another.
Yeah, but happy to have you on and talking about FAB. Just wanted to get to know you. Had your teammate, I guess, Smashing Good teammate, Amy on the show. She was great. Got to get all of you
Reinar
on.
fame. Eugene's pupil.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if Reinar is doing something, I wanna be a part of it. So
hey, I saw 100% conversion rate for Reinar in Hong Kong this weekend. So
was it one Reinar?
It was Eugene.
yeah. Which is awesome. But hey, got to get to know you. You have a great channel over there. You're doing like a great variety of stuff. I think all three of you bring great stuff to the table. Got to give a shout out to Summer with the video.
That new Room Blades and music video is like, I was shocked at how freaking good it is.
Yeah, which is great. Now, I want to know a little bit about your journey with TCGs and kind of what led you to the content game, which eventually, kind of ended up folding in together with Amy and Summer.
Yeah. Please stop me if I'm rambling, because the true answer is I've just been obsessed with card games ever since I was like a young child. I had a sibling 3 years older than me, so they got into Pokemon cards before I could read, but I was looking at them and obsessed with them. And then I was 7, 8 years old when Yu-Gi-Oh premiered on Kids WB, so that just consumed me. And then the older sibling had the Magic cards, so that obviously happened. Started competing in Magic right out of high school and was on and off until last June 2024, and I played one of their big tournaments and didn't have a great time, and then had seen FAB before but never got in, and then I saw that there were Armory decks, and I was like, that's literally the thing that stopped me from getting into the game before. Was just building a CC deck seemed kind of cumbersome. So grabbed a KO Armory deck, played a Tuesday Armory, and that night put in a $500 SCG order for Tunic C and CZ strikes, everything. And then it's just been the only game since then. It completely, entirely captivated me. I had tried to break into the content sphere before with Magic, and then also with Legends of Runeterra, the digital card game. I was 20, 30 viewer Andy on Twitch for that game, but never really broke through. And then I told myself, if I ever did a meaningful tournament finish or anything, that I would use that as a catalyst to try and become a content creator. And then because the Aurora deck was very good, I should not have yet done it, but I top forward calling Memphis on Aurora, and I was like, all right, if ever anybody was going to give a shit about what I have to say, here we go. So I made the channel to do a little tournament recap for that, and then the channel itself very much reflects like my ADHD riddled brain. It's just like whatever videos I think would be cool. There hasn't been much of a cadence yet, with the exception of like Fridays for Amy with Clash. That's been a nice consistency piece. But yeah, once I started doing the like Magic comparison videos, I think that brought in a lot of viewers, and then I was very fortunate that people wanted to keep seeing more stuff. So it's been like absolutely mind blowing the amount of support we've been getting in what feels like a very short time, but that's the short version.
Yeah,
I
well,
love
listen, I kind of love. Well, first of all, it's actually it's like we're the opposite. I started making content, and I was like, eventually, I'll get a good finish, and then people will care about the content I already made. And I don't think that was, I think I was misguided in doing that. I think what you did made a lot more sense, but it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I appreciate about your channel is that it's like, okay, I know whatever's going out is going to be something that you just wanted to make, right? Rather than like, I feel like I have to make this or that, which is cool. Now, what's the dynamic you would say? I think when I had Amy on, she was like, oh, we're just kind of like, whatever we want to do, we'll just throw it out there, which is great. Is that kind of the goal there? Is that how you want to continue to have it, etc.?
I think more structure is almost certainly a good idea. I think right now a lot of it is just like, if you could see the backlog of like videos that I want to make, like we are not short for potential content. It's right now mostly like a logistical matter. Like I'm still on just this crappy old 10-year computer I've been using forever, and we're still like, I'm teaching myself all of the editing software, and like so is Amy now that she's doing, like all of us are basically like self-taught on everything. And then it's also just been like an experiment in seeing what people enjoy watching, and I guess that's sort of informing what other content I want to make. And it's funny, like I said that I used the tournament finish as a reason to make the channel, but I am like these videos aren't very competitively minded. I recognize that I'm not going to offer the level of competitive insight that like a Yuki Lee Bender would be able to, for example. Like we are different tiers of player, and I am totally fine accepting that. So it's a lot of, I feel like I'm kind of still finding my voice as a content creator, I guess. It seems like the vlogs get really positive feedback, even if they don't get as many views as the like, what FAB hero is your Magic deck or whatever. But those ones, I get a lot of very gratifying feedback, and they're also really gratifying to make, I guess. They take a long time, but I love putting those ones together. So ultimately, I would love to have like certain like set series, I guess, and then you can expect like one of these videos will be here for this or whatever, and then have a little more of a consistent cadence. But as of right now, we're very much just like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that's fun though, to be honest, because I think variety content is something I think that like Flesh and Blood kind of lacks sometimes. Like, it's cool to have, that when something happens, our friend from the show, DM Armada, is going to kind of hop on and talk about it. Or,
right.
This is a podcast. You expect every Thursday I'm going to come out with this podcast. There's a lot of expectations or expected content. If you want
premium warrior cope, you're going to listen to the card guys.
Yes, exactly. Like you know what to expect, but also I think there's some good like things to be taken from a little bit of everything, because that's fun, because then you can kind of reach a large audience of players, because
and I can't pretend that viewership isn't a thing I'm considering. Obviously I want the channel to be like numerically successful, and to that I think like another one of the series that is just like such a no-brainer for me, and is why I keep emailing other TCG creators, is the having non-FAB players analyze FAB cards. Like every other game does that so much, and I'm shocked that we don't have that more for FAB. I think a lot of other card game players are honestly trepidatious about looking at FAB cards because they are so alien to some other card game players, but like it makes for such funny content, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, well, I do want to talk about your series with Patrick Sullivan, who you've had on the show. Like, it's first of all, like seeing that, I'm like, well, that's a name I remember. You know,
I lost my mind when he said he was down. I was like, oh, like very, very like starstruck in a niche nerd kind of way.
yeah. Well, how did that come to be? Because kind of he's a all-star from Magic days, and I don't know what he's been up to since.
It is a
but,
funny story.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good one. So, you remember like the Star City Games era of their like tournament series and all that, and it was like him and Cedric Phillips. They were a commentary duo. So they eventually started doing a video series called the Resleevables, where they would do like retrospectives on old Magic sets. Really good. And then that transitioned into like a podcast series. So eventually they opened a Patreon, and I was like a day one, like top tier patron, whatever. So they sent like playmats, some cards, whatever. But we had like a littlest bit of awareness of each other. So during one of these episodes of the podcast where they're just like talking about non-Magic stuff, Patrick is lamenting the electric rental scooter phenomenon, because he's like, these stupid freaking Lime scooters are just like, I find them in my driveway, I find them on my sidewalk. He's raging about him. He's like, I will pay anyone who can like, subtly vandalize some Lime scooters. So I reached out, had them send me a bunch of stickers for their podcast, The Resleevables, and because in Chicago, Lime scooters are also everywhere, so I just dressed one up with some Resleevables podcast stickers, head to toe. And I sent him that. He was made aware of it, and I can't be sure, but I think that is the reason that when I emailed him a few months ago and was like, hey, I have a YouTube channel now, would you be interested in coming and looking at Flesh and Blood cards? He actually responded, and he was like, yeah, that sounds fun, I'm down. And it was like, oh, that made me very happy. And then he happened to just, be the coolest dude ever, so chopping it up with him is a blast, and he's like a really good game designer as well, and he like nails the analysis of these cards. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's impressive, and then you kind of like you take a step back, and you're like, oh, well, this, if anybody's gonna nail this,
worked everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And kind of wants like, I want to actually ask you about your relationship with Magic, right? Because you are a later addition to this game, right? You said 2024,
Yep, just
like,
before Rosetta was when I started playing FAB.
Yeah, a proof of concept on the Armory deck, which is, you gotta put that out
there.
The
best thing they've done yet.
Yeah. I wish the Bolton one was a little bit better, but, hey, listen.
Right.
But with your relationship to Magic and, you kind of making these, hey, this is what your Magic deck is going to be in Flesh and Blood, like what was the thought there? Do you find that that's very helpful? Because I came from Magic as well, tried to get some friends into Flesh and Blood, and I found it the most difficult thing to say outside of red deck wins. This is what the comparison is, but I think you nail it. How do you think that has gone to kind of explain that to Magic players?
It was probably just a lot informed by like my own process of deciding on a hero, because yeah, like you're saying, it's hard to like when you first look at it, at least for me, my first question was, how is every Flesh and Blood deck not an aggro deck? All of us just have a bunch of attacks. So it took me a long time to even just get to that concept, because a control deck in Magic could have 0 creatures. And it's like, what do you mean? We all have attacks. So how is this not a control deck? And then just looking at like the 1-to-1 card comparisons that did make sense, as opposed to like somebody might look at Kano and be like, oh, burn. And it's like, no. Even though he has the bolts, like, I promise this isn't burn. And so instead it was, I guess either trying to find like the cards or the lines that felt like a very specific, and I think it helps to do like the eras of a certain Magic deck. So in the recent one I did, not just red deck wins, but it was like and I don't know how much you played Magic, but there was an era of red deck wins with like Hazaret and Chandra and Ramunap Ruins, whatever. And so and I made the connection of like Flick Knives to me felt like Ramunap Ruins, because in Magic, like, you're never preventing the 2 damage from this land triggered ability. So that felt like that certain like end game inevitability that not every red deck wins variant has had in Magic's past. So like, I think it can be extra effective to capture like that very specific moment in time for somebody. Because like I love blue-white control, for example, but it might be a very particular era of it where if somebody was like, and this is Sphinx's revelation, I'd be like, ooh, excuse me? Let's talk. So yeah, I think just like, because I know those videos already get decent views for the channel, so if I can get like one specific person, like, because ultimately the goal outside of channel success is like getting people to play frickin' Flesh and Blood instead. So if I can actually succeed in that, which some people have commented on the video and been like, yep, all right, you got me, I bought Syndra, GG. Yes, we did it.
Well, yeah, Syndra's a good one to like. I think like in the truest form is the closest to red deck wins in that game that we've kind of ever had. You know, outside maybe FAB, but even like Syndra's just different, right? Like they're the same class talent combo, but Syndra just has that like X factor. And when I got into the game, I'm a longtime Magic player. You know, I was like, the best deck is Chain. Like, oh, this is Dredge. You know, it's like you're like, oh, okay, this is all making sense. But you know, there's like so few like obvious answers, and I think it's kind of like a difficult task because like you said, control is not the same. Like
it took me a long time to. I mean, and I think FAB itself is still kind of trying to figure out what they want the control identity to be, because it wasn't just a year ago that they were like, we want Count Your Blessings to be control's identity. And I'm glad we've moved away from that.
Yes, yeah. Count Your Blessings, probably not. Like it's tough because like fatigue in general. I mean, I enjoy fatiguing people, but it never feels good to get fatigued, right? So like, like you got to create like a fun like play space with that. So I've
been trying to fix my brain about that because I initially also hated getting fatigued, but I also really suck at pitch stacking. So now I'm treating it as like, no, this is your testing. This is your chance to actually do it.
Yeah, now you can practice pitch stacking a hand that won't kill them, but you did it. You know, you're like, look at this hand.
It looks theoretically great.
But very cool. Now, we're off the tail of some bans. We talked about them last week on the show. It was a big shakeup, and we just had Hong Kong this week.
Theoretically.
Yeah, theoretically. What were your initial thoughts?
Upon seeing them, I thought that Rootbound Carapace was gonna like completely nuke Florian and Verdance off the rip. I was like, there's no way. And then started to think about that one more, and I was like, all right, well, Florian cares more about getting online probably, so Verdance like hurts less from that. I like play the least assassin out of any class almost, so I was pretty uninformed on the Orb Weaver stuff. I feel like I got caught up more watching calling footage last night, but that seemed maybe like the least impactful one. The Gravy Bones hit was like, thank God. I hate every time they played Chart the High Seas against me. Get it out of here. And then Wrath of Retribution was the one that I actually called, and I was like very happy about. And then Brand with Cinderclaw was just like, oh wow, they really, really don't want her to LL the same way Aurora did. So I feel, I mean, and this weekend's coverage bores it out. Like Cinder definitely took the biggest hit, I think, out of all of the four heroes that were affected by the bans. I didn't think they were going to ban Scour, but I selfishly wanted them to because I want to play my boy Fang. There were 0 Fangs in Hong Kong. And yeah, I mean, I was just happy to see it, honestly. Like, they said it was a healthy metagame, but they wanted to shake it up, and I'm down for that, too.
Yeah. I mean, I was down for it, too. Yeah, and, like, you hit the nail on the head there, Syndra. Got hit the worst. The Carapace thing was surprising, but, you know, we're about to talk about it, but... You know, Verdance didn't really need them as much, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of needed
the defensive Hero has been on top for like since Rosetta came out in some form or fashion.
Yeah. I liked it for Florian the most because I think it forces Florian to be more aggressive, right? Like kind of be the big go tall, like, hey, I'm going to just hit you really hard with my channel mount heroics and stuff like that. But I could see how he won't be really much of a player right now, but looking at Hong Kong, pretty diverse meta, kind of what I would have expected. In terms of conversions, though, you know, there were a lot of stuff up at the top, but the best conversions were Gravy. Deck's still good. Kasai.
Also, when Brody and Jacob Clemens are playing it, it's going to have a little bit of a spike.
Yeah, just a little bit, but that's always been gravy, right? Like in the best players' hands, it's going to perform. Kasai, which I definitely like. Kasai was on the cusp already of being a top tier deck. Kasai making a big splash this weekend was good, and then Marionette, right? You know, kind of a situation where you're like, okay, maybe it's good that the Orb Weavers are gone, or at least 2 of the 3 of them, and then we had 6 different heroes in top 8, which I think probably if I'm sitting in Auckland right now, I'm saying awesome, right? We didn't screw anything up too much. But,
we didn't make the meta worse with these bands.
Yeah. So it was 2 Gravy, 2 Kasai, and RKO, which I love to see. KO Armed and Dangerous, Verdance, and Marionette. Verdance won, who lost Carapace.
With sequences like that, I mean, it's what deck beats felling triple bird bear.
Mm-hmm. It's yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on the Verdant situation? Because, you know, there's a lot of talk about she plays ahead of the turn cycle because of Stormstriders. A lot of people thought Stormstriders would get hit. Did not. I'm glad. But what are your thoughts here? What, you know, did we not hit Verdance enough? Or is Verdance just had a really good run this weekend?
Always a possibility there. People were probably down on AB because Kano just left. This is something that just precedes my starting the game, so I guess I want to ask you, how similar does Verdance's presence in the meta feel like Icelanders when she was still CC legal? Because this feels like it could be a similar thing where you have a disruptive 40 health wizard that can probably, you know, do a fair amount of damage to you on your own turn.
Yeah. I mean, there's similarities there. I think looking at, you know, Verdance does have some disruption with felling and plow, but the disruption with Icelander, I think that felt like more of an issue. But yeah, she kind of just played on a different axis, a lot like Verdance does. And
I think 40 health wizards is really the answer. Like, I had a similar thought with Aurora, where if Aurora was like 36 or 34 health and they had banned Flicker Wisp pre-London, I feel like we probably would still have her, or she would have very recently LL'd. So, yeah. I don't know what else you could do. I mean, besides, like, there's no way you ban Stormstriders. That's just, like, at least figure out the wizard identity before you do that. I think I've been talking about it's weird that they keep going into this, like, 3-cost 6 arcane direction, which seems like the most powerful thing you could do with Stormstriders. So I can't tell if that's an indication that they want that to be the identity for a lot of wizards, or if that indicates that Stormstriders will be on its way out so that it doesn't feel so bad to get 9-balled on your own turn. I don't know what else you could do to her, though.
Yeah, well,
so that Fang can play the game.
Yeah, well, I think, like, just sacrifice all those fealties first. Come on. And then restart your whole game plan.
Yeah, I'll just do it all again. It's fine. I didn't have Hunt Sent in hand anyway.
Yeah. Florian and Verdance never have to restart their whole game plan with their stuff. But anyway, that's besides the point. But yeah, I think you're right. 40 health, brutal. I look at like in my eyes the perfect wizard. You know, sorry Kano fans, but it is a Cilio to me. You know, I understand that there's attack actions happening, but like it feels very wizardy. You're cycling stuff. You're amping up. There you go, right there. You're amping up your Volzar. You're like, holy smokes! It's like this is my one shot. This thing's got so much power, and then you don't.
If you're playing high voltage, you can still do like 6 on their turn at instant speed. You don't even need Stormstriders.
Exactly. I mean, this is just it. Just feels better. It's a glass cannon in a lot of ways. You know, I mean, Icelander felt a little bit different because Icelander was not 40 health, right? 38.
Correct.
Yeah. But like looking at Verdance, like why this hero that has access to health gain,
Mark skin,
and
life gain.
Yeah.
I keep getting attacked by my cat. It should be fine. Right. This is Bear.
we'll put her in the show notes, but But yeah, I don't know. Like it's weird. I think that maybe it was a kind of a miracle run this weekend. We'll probably see things kind of peter out. If people are prepared for verdants, but I'm
I have
still
to check again. Did the Mario have how much of the Widow Veil did they have? Or how much how much AB are assassins presenting into verdants these days, I guess is the question, because I feel like that should help a lot.
That's a great question. Let me see. I could probably bring that up real quick, but
I just imagine that assassins in general would have been down on those pieces last week because of the Kano LL, and assuming that verdants maybe would have taken more of a hit and been less represented, but obviously that didn't bear out in the data.
yeah, I don't think it looks like Law Wen did not present any AB.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like they think it's better to just try and race them down that way, but
Yeah. Is the new boots? Do they have AB?
yes, yeah, the give a stealth go again. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
it's 3D1 on those.
So that was being played, but it was also being used. So, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think it might have been a miracle run, but we'll see. RTNs are coming up, but
yeah, to the Acilio points, because obviously I love Acilio as well. Converted terribly this weekend, and I don't know what he can do if there are any amount of mechanologists or brutes in the room. And so with KO being the biggest day one representation, that was like extra rough for him. But yeah, it's tough out there.
yeah, and just like talk about a deck that hates any amount of disruption. It's Acilio.
Yeah.
Right? You have a specific gameplay and you need things to go just the way it needs to go. But I think that's why Acilio is the perfect wizard, because, like it should be a glass cannon, especially if you're going to be outputting damage like that. Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes of the show. The fresh faves. I'm going to ask you some of your favorite cards in the game, and you, Brian, you're going to answer them. First, who is your favorite hero?
It has to be Aurora. She's the deck that got me into the game. She's the deck that is the only reason I have had any amount of competitive success in this game. And she's a friggin' Runeblade, and I love Runeblade.
Now, they said Aurora's coming back. We don't know if it's in a set or a new armory deck. What do you think's going to happen?
She's got to go below 40 health, please. I think Flicker Wisp gets banned in the preceding ban list. And then beyond that, I've been trying to imagine what the hero power could look like. And honestly, I don't even care, because I'm just going to activate Grasp and swing Starfall. So they can do whatever they want as long as I still have Arc Lightning, and as long as I still have, like, please don't ban Electromagnetic Somersault. That's like one of my favorite cards of all time, and they're just taking it out back in every other format, so please leave that alone. They can do whatever they want with the hero power. Maybe something like when you deal Arcane, if you've played a lightning card, create an embodiment or something about an embodiment of lightning, almost certainly. But whatever they do, just bring her back, or just re-release the old one and ban Flicker Wisp so that I can use my Marvel again.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't stop you from using the Marvel, old one.
Got my Aurora page in this binder.
Oh, beautiful.
These two artist proofs there on my birthday. Two of the teammates, Yasu and Justin, they each one of them hand draws a hero. One does the weapon. So all the team each has like custom hand drawn hero and weapons for their favorites.
That's awesome. I need to get on that team. But I got bad news for you. You're not going to be able to swing Starfall because Starfall went with Aurora, right?
Oh, it is her is it
the signature weapon?
Oh, okay. So I wasn't sure if it was like the named hero, if it's the same name, but it's like, it's that specific hero has to be, okay.
Yeah, because Luminaris went with Prism, and new Prism can't use that, but...
See, these are these new player things I haven't had to consider yet.
Yeah, well, that means you're going to get an even cooler weapon, or maybe...
That's right.
I mean, Starfall was sick. I think it was like the best designed Runeblade weapon we've gotten in a long time, because it made you play it in the middle of your chain, and like it didn't feel good to finish with it like you did.
Oh, I love opening on it and making your opponent guess, like, do I block because it's just CLV or is it just discharge? Oh, put you in the blender first action. Yeah.
No, it's awesome. Now, what's your favorite weapon? Is it Starfall?
Ooh, no. It could be Volzar, honestly. Give me like 2 seconds to think about this, but my heart thinks that it might be Volzar. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. It's just so cool.
I think
I love
two Volzars in a row in a week, I think, with guests.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome. It does what it looks like.
Yep. Exactly that. Shout honorary mention to Hexagore just for looking cool as hell.
Yeah.
Not being particularly good, but it looks really cool.
Listen, one day,
Levia.
I remember. I love telling the story. This was during the olden days. I was playing Levia, and I was playing Hexagore Levia, and I couldn't roll any hotter on scabs, and I was slammed with Hexagore. Oh man, when it works, it works. Holy smokes! Now, what's your favorite equipment?
Valiant Dynamo, absolutely. Oh my god, so much value.
Oh yeah.
I was sad when new LL'd because Dynamo into Mistblade is just like, I don't care, bro.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, golly. That is one of the, I mean, Monarch had some bangers for sure. Now what's your favorite? So I'm switching this up this time for you. This is the first time I'm doing this because one of our listeners, Darth Prentice, asks the same question every time. I'm adding it to the fresh faves. I think I had promised at one point, but I'm going to ask you 2 questions. The first one, what's your favorite class and or talent card that you throw into your deck?
Ooh. Okay, so like a class-specific card or a talent-specific card that is kind of just one of my little personal favorites.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, or it could be both, right? It could be like Flicker Wisp. Is Elemental Runeblade, I think?
Correct, yeah. It's got the green border. I think I mentioned it earlier, and I'm really showing how much I love both Lightning and also Runeblade. But Electromagnetic Somersault is like, it's not a hot take. It's obviously one of the best Lightning cards ever, but I just love it so much. It blocks 6. It is effectively a 4 attack. It's like usually a 0 for 5 because you're pinging off of Arc Lightning or amping with Volzar. Mm-hmm. It's just there's so much play to it. It's so good. It's too good.
I agree. I remember the first time I was at Tampa for the world premiere and I like opened it and I'm like, it's like read it like 10 times. Like, does this do what I think it does? Like, that card's insane. Now, this is the question that Darth asks every week. Welcome to the show, Greg, who's been on the show. What's your favorite generic card? Bonus points if it blocks 2.
Ooh, favorite generic. Bonus if it blocks 2. Okay, so that makes me automatically want to think of a 2 block. Oh, you've got me so Aurora pilled right now. I feel like I'm just in nostalgia town. Dude, have you ever just blocked 3 cards and sent a snatch?
Yeah.
Or your opponent blocks vanilla damage and then you finish on a snatch and they're like, oh.
Yeah.
And Exude Confidence. I'm going to put Exude Confidence in there as well. I'm pretty sure that blocks 2, but oh man. 2 wins in Memphis because Enigma players didn't realize the quick dodge interaction with Exude Confidence.
Exude Confidence, been doing work for years, still doing work. That's a great answer. Snatch, obviously a classic, and will just show up in decks for like the
Forever.
Rest of Flesh and Blood's time.
I'm surprised it's legal in Silver Age, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fair-ish, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how they.
Guardians have other 4 blocks. It's fine.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Riptide's got some good 4 blocks, and that's about it. What class and talent would you be in the world of Wraith?
I would love to believe that I'd be a Runeblade, but I actually don't know if I have like the psychological fortitude for that as much as I'd like to believe that I would be. So probably actually I would be like a chaos brute.
Ooh.
Not I think that would be my style. Yeah. A little bit reckless, certainly chaotic, not necessarily a bad guy.
Yeah. Just you're like, I can party with him sometimes. The other times
I'll get the job done or I'll fall down a flight of stairs.
Yeah, Chaos Brute's interesting because when the Chaos talent kind of got revealed, you're like, oh, it's like that's kind of like what Brute's doing, but it'd be interesting to see how they would make a Chaos Brute, right? Just like
even more dice rolling.
So many dice rolls, and you have to pick like every time you roll a die, you have to pick the lower one. You got to roll 2 instead. You're just like, oh, this is terrible, but people still play it. Now, in your estimation, I know you've only been playing, since 2024, but you've been around for some bangers. What is the greatest set of all time? By whichever metric you want to say.
My personal favorite is Rosetta. It's not close. I love every single hero so much, and it's just like it encapsulated me. But I think like looking at it from a overall macro posterity standpoint, I might say Tales of Aria is like, to me, that's the one that I look back at as like one of the grandest moments in Flesh and Blood design, I suppose, where like things really took off. Talents are obviously like perpetually some of the most powerful things you could be doing. But yeah, those character designs are really compelling as well. So I think that is probably what I think the answer should be, even if Rosetta is my personal favorite.
Yeah, listen, I mean, Rosetta, I liked Rosetta more than Tails, to be honest. But in terms of power level,
reassuring. Thank you.
yeah. Tails was very powerful, but like I think they really honed in on the design in Rosetta. And
I think about it very often, like the split cards and how like Burn Up feels so Runeblade versus Comet Storm versus Pulsing Aether and whatever the friggin' Arcane Seeds. Like I love the cycles within the set itself. It's got like the prettiest marvels they've maybe ever done. I'm still on the hunt for a couple more sigils myself. But yeah, just like everything about the design of that set is so gorgeous. My LGS had the Blitz package on sale because Blitz is no longer, but I bought it just because the playmat is so gorgeous. Like, yeah, all of it.
Amazing. Great answer. Now, this will be coming out on Christmas for those who celebrate, but also it's the day that this will be coming out anyway. So we're going to give our wish lists for 2026. Have you been naughty or nice this year, Brian?
It depends on which heroes you ask. If you asked a wizard, I haven't done anything wrong because my matchups have been brutal.
Yeah.
If you ask Amy on Kasai when I bring Acilio or Fang, I've been a horrible person and I deserve a bag of coal.
Oh, amazing. Now, like fresh off the gates here, we know we're getting Compendium of Wraith here at the beginning of February, end of January. I think the beginning of February is the actual release date. Return to the supplemental set, and we are going to get something for everybody, allegedly. And it's going to support Silver Age, which we haven't talked much about today, but it's going to be a big push for them. I'm very excited. What do you want from Compendium of Wraith, Brian?
Riches needs to be one of the gems. I don't know if they've confirmed that or not. I think we've only seen Eye of Ophidia. Is that correct? That's the only like legendary gem we've seen spoiled so far.
I think so. That's the only gem. Yeah,
I believe so. So ideally Riches of Tropeldani because that card needs to go down in price, and then I need me a real Fang card. Parched Terrain is fine, but it's not what I was looking for. It feels like it was a design that was designed when they didn't know CYB was going to be banned everywhere. Escalate Bloodshed I'm still like wondering if that was a meme or not, or like an out of season April Fool's joke. So please give me an actual Fang card, and I know this kind of tiptoes away from the intended like class design, but Warriors need some sort of way to deal with Wizards. So like Assassins can do everything. Give Warriors a reasonable like chess piece with some AB or something.
Yeah, that would be kind of nice. Although it's like, do we have to worry about Wizards as much anymore? I think maybe we do, probably forever. Now, those are some good asks. I think Warrior fans have earned it over the years. Now, in terms of like Silver Age, what do you want out of Compendium of Wraith for that format? Because we have like a small idea of what the format's going to be like, but they've reiterated.
This early access meta is not it.
yeah. They're like, this is not. We didn't even test this, so you don't even have to worry about this. So, which is good to know because Chain is pretty good still. What do you want?
So I'm looking at like some cards right now that seem a little too ubiquitous in the current Silver Age, and so I just want options to make those less of a definite answer. So obviously we need something to compare with the Blade Beckoner equipment set. It's just like obviously like the best choice right now. I think something to compete with Arcane Polarity would be very good. That's like a $5 rare right now just because it's obviously like the best rate. That'll probably still be true no matter what. And then probably some sort of aggressive tool to deal with 4-block City Guardian. That seems to be a good strategy right now, and I think a lot of the aggro decks got hit by just the way the format exists and looks right now. Like Syndra, for example, is a deck that is reliant on legendary equipment to be a good aggro deck. And then something for the Wizards because Waning Moon is banned, and I don't know if Crucible's really the move there.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you because the 4-block Guardian thing, it's tough because you do want them to be the defensive deck, but you gotta give some kind of like niche option for like a sideboard, I think, to kind of get over that. And yeah, it is like weird. I mean, I guess it's like kind of cool that some heroes are like, hey, if you want to play this hero, it's got to be CC because the legendaries, like Syndra's, like the legendaries are kind of what makes the deck.
Yeah, I haven't seen a Silver Age Gravy Bones yet.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people try,
yeah.
But I think I'm online with you there. Obviously, personally, I want to see some stuff for Riptide, but I think I'll take stuff for Riptide, whether it's CC or Silver Age. Just give me something.
I think equipment in general is just like some heroes very obviously have much better equipment at the common and rare slot. Like again, Rune Blades have like no really exciting equipment in those slots. Like Sutcliffe Suede Heels or Crown of Dichotomy is about as exciting as it gets, but like Warriors get actual refraction bolters,
Yeah, exactly. And like even like Ranger and like, they're getting the new Bolton shot boots, the Bolton boots, which are going to be good. And like, some of this stuff looks in theory pretty cool. Now, moving on, Compendium of Wraith, we didn't know what that set was going to be. We were like, pen, what does pen mean? It was this. Now, moving on to cooler stuff, what do you want from the other two sets this year? Whether it's the setting, like in Wraith, the classes, talents, I know at least one class talent combo you'd like in terms of...
Yeah, obviously I'm going to need my girl Aurora to exist again. If they want to just like make the hero card an expansion slot in an otherwise unrelated set, I think that would be a really easy way to re-inject heroes without having to make like a whole armory deck or wait till the talent appropriate set. I want Monarch 3 because Monarch 1 and Dusk Till Dawn was before I got here, and I think Light and Shadow is just really cool aesthetically. I'm an edgelord at heart, so that's like a no-brainer for me, and I hope we get more new Runeblade stuff. And then for another set. I don't know if it's time yet. I don't know what their timelines are. I think we can go back to Mist Vale. I like Mystic Heroes. I think ban Traverse the Universe before we get back there. Analyze, some of what made them ridiculously overpowered. But yeah, I think like it's just a really cool space, and we should have them back because everybody's sitting on all their blue cards. What do they do with them? I want to try out Levels of Enlightenment. That card was really good when people played it against me.
Just play Grave if you want to play blues. Golly, No, it's I don't know if it's time for Mist Vale to come back. Although, based on like if you get into like the business of it, like based on how many players came to the game and how all those heroes LL'd, rather quickly, I would think LSS wants to get that sequel of that set sooner rather than later. Personally, I do want to go to the Savage Lands at some point. I don't know if we'll ever go there. I think
is that like where Reinar's from? I'm assuming.
Yeah. So that's the only like region we haven't gone to and gotten like their talent or whatever. We've gone to the Deathmatch Arena twice, which I don't think really counts because it's like we're not getting talents out of it. I mean, we did this most recent time, but it's not. I think they're afraid. I think they're afraid of the Savage Lands, which I mean, I guess I would be too. Reinhar's a little scary, but I want to see.
It'll be a lot less scary without Claw in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you think Armed and Dangerous is going to make the speed run to LL?
I do. I think RTN season's going to be a lot softer to getting ran over by KOs than a Calling was, and I think just like the regions being different and everything, I think he's going to go pretty quick.
Yeah. I mean, he was on the way at one point, which was hilarious, and then got Savage Sash, and then Mist Vale got printed, and then he's like, oh, I'm not the most powerful deck anymore. So yeah, yep. That's kind of what I want. I think setting that way. I think also a return to the pits would be neat. Outsiders was such a cool set, great heroes. You just like grungy kind of. I don't want to go back to metrics right away, or if they're going to go back to metrics, you got to do the pits.
Is that the mechanism place?
Yeah. So we had a set called Bright Lights. I'm sure you've heard of it, but it was
all-timer, as I understand it.
An all-timer. I mean, listen, I was down on it at the time because I was like, I don't really like it's like you gave us no, option to like kind of find something within the set that wasn't Mechanologist. But I think that being said, the actual drafting in Limited was really interesting because you had to make a lot of really interesting decisions. The gameplay didn't really reflect it as much, but like in the actual draft, you're like,
that was Teklo's format, as I understand it.
Yeah. Block, and
yep.
yeah, and
maybe open a tunic.
Yep. But yeah, that's kind of what I want now. Armory decks. We have Hala, I think, right?
She looks so cool, man.
Yeah,
that's a really cool hero design.
What do you expect from her? Because she is like Jarl, kind of like this kind of Origins deck. I expect to be a little bit more juiced up than some of the other Armory decks.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out how to make that whole sharpen thing good enough, and I mean, I'm excited to see what they cook up because my brain's not big enough. But all I know is that like that is my friggin' aesthetic of high fantasy warrior, and I hope that did they say it's Armory deck Origins like the Jarl one, so we can expect like a higher M rate and maybe even a new L.
I am pretty sure it was Origins. Let me just double check real quick.
If true, I imagine that the legendary equipment, if that is one, is like some sort of like sharpen and keep counters on it type thing. I would imagine that's like I would guess the mechanics are going to be something about trying to keep the sharpen tokens on or the sharpen counters throughout turn cycles, and that sounds cool to me, man. I've been really enjoying Warriors since I started playing. I've been like Identity Crisis since Aurora LL'd. It's been like Acilio and Fang, and then a little bit of Florian, a little bit of Verdance. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, it is kind of weird because like Aurora was like your classic aggro Runeblade, and then
like the best hero to learn this game on ever.
Yeah, and like Florian's just not doing the same thing, which is fine, but I think that can't find.
I got to
Hollow
6-0 a
is.
skirmish last week on Stack Flurry, and I got that out of my system real quick.
Oh, Stack Florian in Blitz.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't even.
Scepter's legal.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Talk about a card that I'm glad is gone, because I don't know. I just like playing grind your decks, and like Florian was just like, all right, let me just make a billion rune chants. But that's been kind of a thing forever. Like old Viscera.
They really don't want that to be a strategy, though. I tell you what.
Yeah, they don't. Now, Armory decks. Would you expect any new heroes out of Armory decks? Would you think Aurora would come from an Armory deck next year?
I could see it. I mean, I don't know how you do it without either just filling the deck with a bunch of reprints or printing a bunch of new cards that aren't actually strong enough, and it's more of like a new player tool because like Aurora's already so good, it's not like she needs a whole bunch of juice. But I could see it for like the new Dromai, for example, because a lot of the Draconic cards from Hunted I don't think interacted particularly well with like the Dromai stuff. Not all of them, but yeah, I could see them doing that for her, or if we got like a new Viserai or something. For the older heroes, I could see using them as a opportunity to get some of the older reprints out, just some of the like older Majestics that are kind of awkward to find. Like it'd be cool if they had a Glint of Quicksilver or a Blade Flurry in this Hala Armory deck, for example. A lot of the heavy hitters singles are like really expensive for some reason, I noticed.
Yeah. It's. I mean, there were some just like kind of staples for those heroes in
Really
heavy
good
hitters.
cards in that set, yeah.
Yeah.
Send a packing, Blade Flurry. Every time I open a pack, I'm like, oh yeah, this busted card was in there too.
yeah. Hala is Origins, by the way. So
Nice. That is exciting.
Yeah. Now, one last thing in terms of like our wish list for next year. You know, this was a up and down year in terms of bans and how the meta would go. I think for the most part we got some healthy stuff. What do you want next year? Do you want them to shake up formats like they just did more? Do you want them to stay hands off? What kind of meta do you even want? You know, do you want things where Arcane really matters at the top and you got to worry about how you're going to deal with that?
So first and foremost for LL, they had mentioned that they said something to the effect about they were a little too hands-on with the bans. Unban Rosetta Thorn in LL. I don't care if like there's the one tournament a year. What are we doing? We can't have it illegal everywhere. So unban Rosetta Thorn and preferably Electromagnetic Somersault and Living Legend and whatever else. Give the people their toys back and like let people have their format like that. For CC, I feel like the shakeup bans this time around were mostly because even though like a 3-deck meta with some underlying layers like healthy, I feel like we've seen other metas where it does kind of week to week rock paper scissors, and you could actually like, I mean, you can still like Kasai, won a calling last week. You can still get that a little bit, but I feel like with this set of heroes being like this is like, the wizard and the gravy lines are like very sort of linear in their game plans. It was kind of hard for there to be more of a rotating cyclical meta. So if it came to that again, I don't mind the shake-up bans just to make things interesting again, especially when it's not, expensive cards that's like pissing people off. But I loved it. So if they feel the need to do it again, I'm super down for it. But if the meta is like able to kind of rotate 1 or 2 decks in and out every couple weeks anyway, then not entirely necessary. And then, we'll see what Penn has for Silver Age before I theorize on that at all.
Yeah. Silver Age is a whole nother bag of hammers, but it's kind of interesting, the shakeup. I feel like, I've been wondering, was this more a product of the season? Because we kind of had this lull, and then, you had these like bigger tournaments, but we've been playing the same meta for a while. I don't know if we have those lulls like that as much, like outside of the holiday season and the Worlds season. And interesting enough, I think this is the first time we're doing RTNs just like 1 month, January, kind of. So we had this like weird big season right before the next set came out. So interested to see if they'll kind of pull the trigger on it, just want to look at the Living Legend list right now, where people are at. KO Armed and Dangerous, yes, 841. Yeah.
Florian's pretty high too, right?
Florian's at 828. Although I wonder how many more Florian's going to get in
He's
RTN
another one
season.
that I think specifically the like slightly lower powered tournaments like the RTNs and the PQs, I think favors Florian more, just because like people might bring less tuned things, and then Florian CMHs you, and then so I could see similarly to KO, I could see Florian getting a reasonable amount of points in the RTN season.
Yeah. Florian's like up there, could do it. I mean, probably not go away in RTN season. KO could, I think, easily do it because KO's at more than 2 years. So is that the 1.5, I think?
Yeah, it's at 1.5.
Phi 809. I think Phi. I don't think we have to worry about Phi for a
Not
minute.
till he gets that new Phoenix Flames card.
Yeah. Prisoner Awakener of Souls at 784. Certainly could get some points here, but I doubt we'll see a rotation from her until maybe after the
PQ season's like a month afterwards, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but only like a couple weeks, like 3 weeks for the CC stuff. So yeah, I don't know how many points these people are going to get. Syndra's at 692, and Syndra's still in the 0.5 until Pen comes out.
And all fall off a cliff from these bands.
Yeah, fell off a cliff. Verdance, however, is 692. Right, got a lot of points in Super Slam season. 462 points in Super Slam season.
Even at 0.5, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, no, Verdance had just hit 1 point in Super Slam.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that explains the spike then.
Yeah, big spike.
Still scary.
Still very scary. I think everybody else is probably fine. Bravo hanging there at 769. 0 points in Super Slam season.
Let's go. We're so back.
I know. But yeah, so I could see a couple of those heroes say goodbye. Will it be a big shakeup? I mean, Armed and Dangerous, I guess. Like you're high powered, tall.
If KO goes, deck. I think that's great news for Acilio. Until that happens, I'm not super keen on bringing Acilio to the RTN.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how they handle No More Claw. We saw the new Claw.
It doesn't have go again.
Doesn't have go again, but if it untaps and you have an extra action point.
That's right. Surely.
Surely. I mean, hopefully there's some kind of change there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping for more good Flesh and Blood next year. And I'm going to be...
They haven't disappointed me yet.
Not yet. There's always time, James White. No.
Don't worry, Jimmy.
Now, we got some listener questions real quick, and then we're going to say goodbye, Brian. First one does come from Darth Prentice, who got added to the rotation earlier, but asks, which Flesh and Blood hero is the most likely to drink all the eggnog at the Wraith holiday party? And which Flesh and Blood hero would give the worst Secret Santa gift, and what would that gift be?
Oh. Worst Secret Santa gift is definitely going to be from Levia. She's just going to be like, here you go. It is an amalgamation of my convulsions from the bellows of hell. You like it? And I feel like, how does Miss Drink 'em Under the Table not be the correct answer for any like alcohol chugging related question? I feel like Betsy would, she could probably throw back the eggnog with the best of them. It's super spiked with the spiced rum, to be clear, when Betsy's providing it.
Oh, yeah. When's Betsy getting a weapon, by the way? Everybody wants to know.
That big old tree, the log or whatever, yeah. Log when?
Oh, man. I think Greg actually asked this question on Pitch Perfect, too. And I said for the Secret Santa, I think Viserai would, and this is just how I picture rune chants, but Viserai would give a rune chant, and you'd open it, and it would like blow up like a glitter bomb. I just feel like... And then we have a question from Coppola who asks, in Wraith, what place do you want to visit the most? What would their local dish be, and would you eat it?
Have me looking up a map of Wraith right now. So what do we got? We got Arya, Volcor, the Savage Lands,
Solana, Mysteria.
the Pits Metrics. Okay, this is a lovely little map. What is... Honestly, take me back to the Demonastery. I missed it when it was like current content. And like I said, I'm an edgelord, so just show me more purple things. All I want is cool purple things and evil Runeblade stuff.
And what would their local dish be?
Oh, right. Blood pudding.
And would you eat that?
I would have to. I feel like they would probably put a on me if I didn't eat it. It'd be like disrespectful. I'm gonna start clawing my eyes out in the middle of the night.
Holy moly. That'd be good. That'd be good. Now, Brian, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You're the best. Can you please plug all of your things? And thank you again.
I would love to. So thank you for having me. This was such a blast. I am on Smashing Good Team on YouTube, making all sorts of videos along with Summer and Amy and a bunch of great people. Brian Hoffman, FAB on the socials. And yeah, go check out our videos. Summer just put out the most banging Runeblades and music video, and Amy's been putting together a gameplay studio in her apartment, and I'm not kidding. We were doing some test stuff. It is like, it's looking top notch. So those should be out like in a week or so from when this podcast comes out. But yeah, exciting stuff all around.
Sweet. Please do check them out. They're great. Got to get Summer on next. And
absolutely, you got to collect us all.
Yeah. That's how I like to do it, one at a time when they least expect it. You can continue to find me on Blue Sky at freshbudspod. YouTube, if you're watching here, give us the old like, comment, subscribe. It all helps. Discord, there's a Buds Discord. It's free for everybody to join. Check it out in the show notes. And also the Patreon, check out that. Do a bonus app every week of me just rambling nonsense. And Fresh Juice is my indie game podcast I do with my cousin. That is also weekly. And I'm playing a game this week called Death Howl, which is a Souls-like deck builder.
Ooh.
It's actually
sounds great.
And finally, Brian, I always like to end every episode talking about food. It's the great unifier. What's some food you want to shout out, or you're craving, or however you want to answer this? You know, you come from a great food city, I know. So hit me.
And I'm going to hit you with a very simple answer, but because it's so cold out, so when it gets below about 10 degrees, my grandma would say it has to be at least that cold, and then she would make caramel corn. And so we're getting to about that temperature right now because it has to be cold enough, otherwise the caramel doesn't set. And I don't know what it was about how she made it, but she would send me these like gallon bags full of this caramel corn, and I would destroy it all as soon as possible. So we're about hitting the temperature where I can go do that with my mom. So hopefully we're going to be making some caramel corn soon.
Is that like popped corn?
Yeah, make popcorn, and then you just like put it in a massive skillet and like make caramel at home, and then just drizzle it over, and it all sets, and it's like, it is crack, man. Oh,
sounds pretty good. Pretty chilly here in Jersey. Not quite below 10 though, so we'll get there.
So hold off on the caramel corn, yeah.
But anyway, with all that, we don't have time for Charmer, but I'm sure we'll get to him at some point. Everybody, stay fresh.